Hello and namaste. Welcome to Yoga with Irena. Today's practice, we're going to open up the chest, relax the knots in the shoulders, and ultimately boost your energy. You're only going to need a space to play, no extra props, and to make sure that you never miss out on a bite-sized yoga practice, click the big red subscribe button down below. So let's hop into it. Come to all fours, table position. Now here in table pose, on the exhale, round the spine, tailbone scooping, belly tone. And the inhale, roll the sit bones to the sky. Back and forth, your pace. Every inhale, softening the belly. And let's exhale through the mouth, whispering, ah. One more round, inhale, open the chest. Exhale, rounding. Good, and settle back into table. Now from table with the arms strong, soften between those shoulder blades, curl the toes under and lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. And in this first downward dog, bend the knees one at a time, just opening calves and soles of the feet. Good, we'll wake up. And then stretch both legs straight and steady. From here, shift into plank pose. And you'll probably notice that you need to either walk your hands forward or your feet back to get your shoulders over your wrist and your body one straight long line. Good. On the next breath, lower the knees to the floor. Keep your belly strong as you soften between the shoulder blades. Keep that belly strong and shift the shoulders forward over the fingertips as you slowly lower your chest and chin to the floor. And then slide out onto the belly. Pressing the tops of the feet into the mat, scoop the tailbone and interlace your fingers behind your back. As the feet press down, draw the shoulder blades towards one another, lifting the chest up away from the floor. A variation on our locust pose to strengthen the upper back, to open the chest. And then keeping the chest lifted, plant the hands next to the ribs, toes curled under. You engage your belly as you lift your hips and then come back into downward facing dog. Now in this downward dog, bend both knees deeply, a good 10 inches. Look between your hands, roll the sit bones to the sky. Pressing the floor down, push it away so you can soften a little more between those shoulder blades and get that nice curve in the lower back. Keep the spine long as you stretch the legs straight. Draw that lower belly in and up so you can anchor from the sit bones down towards those heels. They don't have to touch the mat though. On the next inhale, shift forward into plank pose. Lower the knees again, keep your bottom in the air. For the 8-point pose, you bend the arms, chest and chin lower, and then slide out onto the belly. Widen your hands to be as wide as your mat and come up onto the fingertips if that's accessible. Feet press down, tailbone scoops. Finger pads press into the earth, and on the inhale, you lift your chest. Draw the head of the shoulders towards the sky and the shoulder blades down the back. Take a breath. You can stay right here where there's not much weight on those fingers. You could lift them up if you want to. Or maybe you curl your chest a little higher to the sky. One breath. And then exhale, slowly release. Plant the hands next to the ribs and slowly lift up and back. Downward facing dog. Wonderful. From downward dog, on the next inhale, shift again into plank pose. From plank, lower the knees, bend the arms and slowly lower chest and chin. Good. Bend both legs behind you. Flex the feet. Press your knees into the earth so that your bottom lifts and you get a deep arch in the lower back, exaggerating. Into that space, scoop your tailbone, lengthening from hips to knees. As you draw the belly in, lengthen from the hips to the underarms, draw those shoulder blades towards each other and begin to curl towards the sky. Working towards a little pigeon pose here, the Kapotasana. On the exhale, slowly lower the chest, extend the legs. Toes curled under, and you lift up and back. Downward facing dog. Deep breath. You're doing fabulous. Next inhale, shift forward to plank pose. Lower the knees, belly strong. Keep the bottom in the air as you lower chest and chin, and then all the way down. Sliding your forearms in front of you, bring the right forearm parallel to the top of the sticky mat, and you're gonna bend your left leg. Your thighs stay close to one another as you reach for the outer edge of the left foot. Press the foot into the hand and feel that shoulder stretch on the left side. Continue pressing that left foot into the hand, but now draw the heel towards the outer hip. Good work. Keep the head of that left shoulder lifting. Some of you might know the fancier hand position where you swivel the fingers over the toes. If you don't know that yet, don't worry. We'll come to that later on. Exhale, release. Left arm in front, right leg bends, and you reach the hand for the foot. Now, if you can't find your foot, you can wrap a belt around it and hold on to that belt. As foot presses into hand, tailbone scoops, and you draw the heel towards the outer hip. Making sure that the right knee is directly behind your hip, so it's not wandering to the edge of the sticky mat. We'll take one more breath. Sometimes this can be even more of a shoulder stretch than a thigh stretch, just depending where you hold your tension. And then exhale, release. Bring the hands next to the ribs and slowly lift up and back, downward facing dog. And you'll see I'm using that transition to come to my knees. So from my belly to downward dog. It just really enables me to fire my core. All right, shift forward to plank pose, and from plank pose, knees lower, tummy strong. Slowly come all the way chest and chin, and then down to the belly. This time bend both legs behind you and see if your hands can find the tops of your feet. Your feet are pointed, you press the feet back into the hands. You lengthen from the belly out through the knees, and then as you press the feet back, you begin to lift the chest. Good work. Maybe from here you lift the thighs away from the ground. Keep looking forward. Don't turn to look at me. Your gaze is on something a little in front of you, or maybe towards the sky. Good. Exhale, release. Make a little pillow for your head with your hands and rest forehead on hands. 3 deep breaths here. Breathing specifically into the back of the waistline. Good. We'll do one more round. Bend the legs behind you, this time flexing the feet. See if you can reach for the ankles, the base of the shins. If it's not there, just take top of the foot. If you can't find your feet, you just have feet flexed, hands next to ribs, okay? Tailbone scoops, feet press back. Draw the shoulder blades towards each other and down the back as you begin to lift chest. Slowly lift the thighs. Good. Flexing the feet if you have the ankles. And on the exhale, release and make a little pillow for the head with the hands. 3 deep breaths. Good. You shouldn't feel any discomfort in the lower back. If you do, you were going a little too far. You want to check in with that alignment of keeping thigh bones rooted back and tailbone lengthening. And then plant the hands next to the ribs. Press up to the knees and come into table. From table, arms strong, soften between shoulder blades, lift up and back, downward facing dog. So after the deep back bends, we want to lengthen the spine with all of its natural curves. breaths. And one more breath. From downward dog, lower the knees to the floor. Come back to rest in child's pose. Hands stack beneath the forehead so that the forehead can rest on something. And 3 breaths here, allowing the shoulders to relax, the back to round. And on the next inhale, slowly coming up to seated. And that's our practice for today. Thanks for joining me. I look forward to catching you on the flip side. Namaste.